Okay, so if you've been scrolling through social media at all recently, you've probably seen this thing pop up. It's a super fast brain hack that promises to help you get anything you want. It's called Neuro-Manifestation. And yeah, it's gone completely viral. So in this explainer, we're going to break it down piece by piece and figure out not just what it is, but what makes it so darn persuasive.
The whole pitch kicks off with this massive can't-ignore number. The video claims that a whopping 94% of people fail when they try to manifest things. And, get this, they say this comes from neuroscientists. So right away, that does two things. It creates this huge problem that you suddenly feel you need a solution for, and it wraps the whole thing up to make it sound super scientific and legit.
So a number like that, it just makes you ask two things, right? First, why? Why are so many people failing at this? And second, what is this magic brain hack that's supposedly going to fix everything? Let's follow their logic and see what answers they give us.
All right, let's dig into the core claim. To really get the hack, you have to understand the theory they're selling. And the whole method, the entire thing, is built on one very specific and kind of surprising idea about how our brains work. And it all comes down to, believe it or not, just a pen and a piece of paper.
Here's the main argument, and it's a pretty bold one. The video basically says your brain doesn't care about your thoughts. It just ignores them. But the physical act of writing something down with your hand, well, they claim that creates a real physical signal that your brain has to pay attention to. And that this signal is what literally rewires your neurons.
And you can see exactly how they word it right here. It is designed for maximum impact. You've got these big absolute words like ignores and physically rewires. But the real sneaky part is that little bit at the end, UCLA proof. It's a quick mention of a big-name school thrown in there to make you just nod along and not question it.
Okay, so now that they've laid out their scientific foundation, they switch from the why to the how. The solution is presented as this really simple two-step brain hack. So let's break down the actual steps they tell you to follow.
The method itself is just a quick two-part daily ritual. It's designed to be super easy to remember and do. As you can see, it starts with something they call a sensory anchor. That's the writing part. And then it moves on to a dopamine action. So it's a mix of focusing your mind and then taking a tiny real-world step.
Step one is the sensory anchor. And it's simple. You just have to physically write down your goal every single day. The logic they're selling here is that the feeling of the pen in your hand, combined with seeing the words on the paper, creates what they call 5x neural activation. Basically, it tricks your brain into thinking the goal is more real. Then comes step two, the dopamine action. Immediately after you write down your goal, you take one tiny 2-minute action towards it. We're talking something as small as sending a single email. The idea is that this little easy win gives you a hit of dopamine, which rewards your brain and starts building these so-called success pathways.
Okay, so we've got the theory and we've got the two steps, but that's really only half of it. How does a video like this convince millions of people that this actually works? Now we're going to look at the anatomy of their proof. In other words, how they sell this whole idea.
The main piece of evidence they show you isn't some boring study, it's a story. We see this super fast transformation of a woman they call Priya. 1 second, she's sad in a gloomy office cubicle, and then, boom, 30 days later, she's in a fancy corner office with a beautiful sunset behind her. The message is simple and it's powerful. She just followed the steps, and her success wasn't luck, it was brain physics.
So you see what's really going on here. This isn't just a list of instructions, it's a masterclass in how to be persuasive. The source video uses this urgent, super high-energy voice. The editing is all quick cuts to keep your attention. They use sciencey-sounding words like neural activation, a story you can relate to like Priya's, and then they hit you with a big dose of social proof.
And all of this brings us to the biggest question, right? Are we looking at a legitimate self-help technique here? Or is it actually something else, like a perfectly engineered formula that was designed from the ground up to go viral? To figure that out, let's just look at how the video itself is put together.
When you actually put a stopwatch to the video, the whole structure becomes incredibly clear. Just look at this breakdown. Explaining the actual hack, that takes up maybe 10 seconds. The huge majority of the video is spent hooking you in, showing you the dramatic proof with Priya. And this is the most important part, pushing you to engage with a call to action. And this is the engine that makes the whole thing go viral. The video just hammers you with this demand to comment NM. Now, this is a brilliant move. It does two things at once. First, it tells the social media algorithm that this video is popular, so it shows it to more people. Second, it fills the comment section with what looks like proof that it works, which convinces the next person who watches it. It's a perfect, self-fueling loop.
So where does that leave us? I mean, the basic ideas here, writing down your goals, taking small actions, these are things we've heard before, and they can be genuinely helpful. But when you package them inside a high-speed marketing machine like this, it really makes you think. In this whole new world of viral self-help, where do we draw the line between a useful tip and a perfectly engineered ad? That's something to chew on the next time a brain hack shows up in your feed.